The case of the two Canadians being detained in China. Their fate featured once again today at the briefing of the Chinese Foreign Ministry. In fact, a third straight day, the Canadian issue has come up. Officials in China say they're following events here closely, and they are backing growing calls from Michael Kovrig's family, among others, for Ottawa to step in and stop extradition proceedings against Huawei's top financial executive, Meng Wanzhou. She's wanted in the U.S. on charges of fraud and breaking Iranian sanctions. Many view the detention of Michael Kovrig and Michael Spavor as retaliation by Beijing for Meng's detention here. Patrick Falk was once again at that briefing, and he is live from Beijing with us this morning. Patrick, what did we hear that was new from Chinese officials today?
Well, Heather, you're right. There has been this sort of back and forth over the last few days with messages coming out of the press briefing in Beijing in particular. But there were some interesting new things that came out of the briefing today. I was taken aback at one point when the spokesperson for the Foreign Ministry, Zhao Lijian, said that if Meng were to be released, that would help resolve the situation with the two Canadians. But it was apparent afterwards that he was actually quoting the sentiments that were expressed by Michael Kovrig's wife in the interview that she conducted, in which she said that she'd taken legal advice which had said that Canada had the power to stop this extradition process, and she urged Canada to intervene in that. Now, it seems very clear that China has been paying very close attention to that particular development. So Zhao Lijian said today that he'd watched it, no doubt, very keenly. And we haven't got a clip for you, but he did say, he did urge Canada to release Meng immediately. And he also said that, as Michael Kovrig's wife expressed, the Canadian Attorney General has the right to terminate the extradition procedure at any time, which shows that the Canadian government can enforce the law impartially in accordance with its own laws with regards to Meng Wanzhou. So the Chinese perhaps sense that there is a possible opening here to get this thing all turned around so that Meng can be released and can be returned to China. But of course, Canada will be very reluctant to do that, and Canada has said that it is reluctant to compromise its judicial system, and as some people have said, would be unwilling to legitimize what they see as a hostage diplomacy.
Meanwhile, the days roll on. More than 560 days in detention for the two Michaels. We were talking earlier this week, Patrick, about how they have not had consular access in some 4 months, and you'd even put the question to the officials about the possible some form of virtual meeting or video meeting. There's some new information about the whole notion of consular visits. What have you learned?
Yeah, that's right. That point about virtual meetings has been pressed by Canadian officials repeatedly. And actually, this question has been posed to Chinese officials many, many times, and they've been very reluctant to give a clear answer. And today also we were told that the reason why people haven't been given, not just the two Michaels, but, any other people in this sort of position haven't been given any consular access. They said it was based on humanitarian grounds, and this was all about COVID-19 restrictions. But we did hear Zhao Lijian say specifically today that consular access would be granted once this pandemic is over. Now, that is a very wide berth, because we don't know exactly when, if it's going to be anytime soon, that the pandemic is going to be over, or even if restrictions generally are going to be lifted. Nevertheless, this is perhaps a positive sign and an important development, because it is a commitment in words whether or not it's going to happen anytime soon.
A crack in a door that has been firmly closed thus far for many months. Patrick, thank you very much for all of this morning. Freelance reporter Patrick Falk from Beijing.